That's right. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
It is that time again. It's Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John in the sunglasses.
You get a little quicker every time. You get a little quicker
Well, because
every time.
you are doing such a great job, like you do with everything.
Oh, thank you.
You've got
What
so much
camera are you
coming up.
looking? We're not in Madison right now because we are in California because we just did the Hollywood Christmas Parade. So I'm looking in that camera, and you're looking in that camera. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Because sometimes we do the show, and she's like, "Yeah, well, I know." Yeah, she did. And so, where are you looking?
Yeah.
Where are you looking? By
So
the way, I
much
have
for
my
that
sunglasses
Emmy
on.
hosting television programs.
I have my sunglasses on because we're in California. You know, and that's what they wear. I remember
Future's
when
so bright, you have to wear shades.
when I first came here, it was amazing because I was walking through LAX.
That's always fun.
And it was people inside, and it was kind of like probably 8 o'clock at night, and they were wearing their sunglasses, and I thought, no, this is just not true.
That's what they do.
Don't really, I can't see anybody. They don't really wear their sunglasses at night in California,
They do.
they? And, you'd think it was so that people wouldn't, oh my gosh, they wouldn't recognize them, but I think it was so that people would think they were someone that might be recognized.
agreed. That's to draw attention.
Yeah, this is where when cell phones first came out, there was a thing on the market that actually outsold cell phones for about 2 months.
CB?
What?
CB?
CB? No,
Like
that
a
always
CB radio?
outsells. No, that outsells cell phones.
Now
You know
it
why?
probably does.
Because it works everywhere. A
Yeah,
CB
well-
never loses signal.
We have been looking at CBs because, when the phone system goes down and your phone says SOS, and it's really scary because there's no service and you don't know
Out an
when it's
SOS.
going to be coming back. So I think we should get the CBs and hook up our landline because we have a landline, but I don't know where it is. The cable guy or streaming guy is going to have to come and find it. But we do have a
I know where the
landline
phone
hookup.
is. Yeah, I know where the phone is.
You know where the landline is?
Yeah.
For the phone? Where?
Downstairs.
Second floor?
No, the first floor, down in that the little bathroom behind the men's store there.
No.
Yeah, it's on the wall.
It's an old phone. No, that's an old phone. That doesn't work. That's like you hang on the wall on the rotary. No, that is
But that's
not
the
what I'm
landline.
talking
That's
about.
where the cables come in, or cables. That's where the wires come in. It's the landline. That's the phone.
In 1940, maybe, but no. I think it's
What,
on
you
the
think
second
there's another
floor.
one somewhere?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a landline hookup. I just don't know where it is.
If AT&T or whoever turned the service on, that's the phone you would use.
No way.
I
There's
guarantee it.
This is the old-fashioned square
Here's to you
rotary.
being so wrong.
No, you're wrong. I love you, but
So you saw it right here. We'll let you know.
we'll let you know.
I don't really want a landline. I don't know why
Cheers.
we'd need one, but there we go. Here's to Dee Dee being wrong in front of all y'all. And then I have to tell. I was telling a story.
Would you take a sip, please?
Gosh, it's
it's
so
bad
hard
luck
to-
not to.
It's bad luck to be superstitious. It's
We're having orange juice because we're in California. That's more of a Florida thing. But there is
no, it's
Vodka.
a California thing.
also
It's California.
oranges
Yeah, out in Santa Clarita Valley.
and more like Florida though. That's their official plant. Like orange
Well,
plant.
sure, there are
I think.
oranges in Florida, but there are oranges here too. All of the San Fernando Valley used to be.
When's the
orange
official
groves.
plant for California?
Cannabis.
I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
You are clever today.
I am.
I'm barely keeping up.
So, oh God, where was I? So I came
LA.
here to audition for Dukes of Hazzard. I noticed that there were people wearing sunglasses at night. It was hysterical.
I wear
Even
my
outs-
sunglasses at night. Corey Hart. That was it. I don't think he did he do one more song? I love that song.
Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
Okay, so I came here and they were wearing their sunglasses at night. And this was before the Olympics came to Los Angeles. This was 78, so it was only one story. There was not the second level there. And I didn't know where to go. And this guy who was on the plane, because I'd flown in from Atlanta, a first class round trip ticket was $320 on Delta. But this guy had been there too. And he said, "Where are you trying to get to?" And I told him, and he told me how to go out and where to wait. And the white zone is for loading and unloading of passengers only. No parking. So he was wonderful. He told me how to get there and where to go. And it was, oh, God, Johnny,
Depp?
come on down. No, Johnny Depp was in 4th grade in 1978. And now
That is
he's
a good
in 5th
point.
grade. Now he's in 5th grade.
Johnny
Olson. Johnny Olson?
No, that's not his name.
Sure it is. The guy from The Price is Right. Come on down.
Oh, and
Anyway.
yeah, and by the way, everybody, they wanted John to be the host of The Price is Right. They offered him that job so you could be saying, "Come on down," instead of
No, that's the Ed
having drinks.
McMahon role of The Price is Right.
No, I know that, but I
Johnny
was
Olson.
sharing.
Johnny Olson.
All
Thank
right,
you,
but I
Tony
was
the Tiger.
sharing that John Schneider was offered the job of the host, the main host, not
Right.
the sidekick.
At that point, it was the Price is Right, Bob Barker. So Bob was leaving. Bob was leaving because he was, I guess, was going to have a great film
Be
career.
careful, he just died. We want to be respectful.
After Happy Gilmore. Right? God, that was
The
funny.
best scene ever.
Gosh, that was funny. That was so funny. So then I got on a bus and came to Universal, and I think I stayed at the Sheraton Universal.
Still there,
Well,
gigantic
wait, no, that's
hotel.
great. No, I went to the Sheraton Universal, and then I had to figure out how to get to the Tolucan Motel, which is only about a mile from there, but I didn't know. I'd never been here before. And I don't remember exactly how I got to the Tolucan Motel, but it was interesting that Warner Brothers sent, gosh, now that I'm thinking about this, I'll bet there was somebody, he may still be there since 1978, holding up a sign that says, John Schneider, right? So it did not appear to me that they had made any plans for me to get to the motel. You know, they probably did.
And you missed it. You've got to look for those signs.
I feel bad.
Did you
I
hitchhike?
had never, no, I never hitchhiked. Did you hitchhike?
No.
My brothers used to hitchhike.
But back in the day, people say, oh, it was so safe. I can't see how hitchhiking would ever be safe. Ever. Because there's always weirdos out there, no matter if it's the 40s, 50s, or 60s. But definitely now, don't do it.
Well, what is it that they say?
Don't hitchhike.
If you no, don't pick up people on this road because they may
Hitchers.
be escaped prisoners. You know, you see those signs when you're going through.
In the black and white movies, it was always about that, the chain gang.
In, Arizona and all that. Yep.
And now you're in Hollywood,
Yeah,
and
but
you
if they're
might want
holding
to
a violin
hitchhike
case and wearing
to
a
get
fedora,
out.
don't pick them up. Don't pick them up. Violin case and fedora, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay,
But we've been in
wow.
Hollywood. We just did the Hollywood parade, the Christmas parade. It was so much fun. That was great, right,
It
honey?
was, and you'd never done that before.
No. But you had.
I did it
Back in the day, back in the Dukes
3
days,
times.
right?
Oh, there we are, yay!
Oh, yay. That was so
There we
much
are.
fun.
Look at you, just waving with. If I had raised both hands like that, it looks like I'm doing the Trump dance.
Well, you are. You
Kind
are.
of was. Oh, that's great fun. So our friend Dean Kane was up there. He was hosting it. Great to see Dean. And the people that run the Hollywood Christmas Parade now are wonderful. Very, very nice. It was extremely well organized.
Mm-hmm.
But
Lou Ferrigno.
saw Big Lou. Big Lou was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to him about my electrocution suit. He knows all about it. So, you know.
When the Incredible Hulk says, "What have you been doing?" and he's looking in John's arms and muscles, that it obviously
What a dream come
People
true
are
that
noticing.
was. That was really
You
was
are
really
big.
Great. But one thing that was odd though is we were in this beautiful building, and they had In-N-Out burgers, and everybody was waiting to get in the cars. So they had an assistant would come and tap you on the shoulder and say, you know, come on out here, your car is here, and you believe that. But what they do, the typical Hollywood thing is
Hurry
that
up and
in
wait.
movies and stuff. That's why they say hurry up and wait. Is they rush you out there, and all the time you're thinking, oh, the car's there. I'm going to get in the car. Your car's not there. And the next
we were
car
sitting in a golf cart
is
for a
not
long
your-
time.
Is not your car, and the car after that is not your car. So they bring you out there 45 minutes to an hour early, so that when your car is there, and this kind of makes sense, but I think 10 minutes. Come on, folks, 10 minutes.
Agreed. We're there a
have been fine.
long time.
But here's the issue. So we're in a 5-story parking structure behind this building, right? And all these cars that was a 1972 Boss 429 Cougar. I've never seen one before. That is a cool, cool car. But it runs on, I think he's got 97 octane in there. And all the cars in front of us were Thunderbirds and Lincoln Continentals and all cars. There was a 62 Rolls Royce. These are all cars from the actually 50s, 60s, and 70s, which are not really known for doing much of anything in a closed space except asphyxiating people.
And it worked.
So it worked. My God.
We were like,
So we were waiting in there. And then we went down, finally got in the car. The gentleman who owned it was wonderful, and the car was beautiful. And it had a police siren and a yeehaw into a microphone a couple times. But then we go down to Hollywood Boulevard, and the red carpet is just over there, like 20 yards away. And I think it took 45 minutes again to get to the red carpet. But nobody dares turn their car off because at any moment, they don't come up and say, okay, in about 30 seconds, we're going to want you to go up there. No, they're always, they wait and then they go
let's go.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go now.
So that whole time we're sitting there and everybody, I don't know how the police officers didn't die because all these cars, all of these fumes are sitting down there on Hollywood Boulevard. And the poor folks that were waiting right early to the very first part of the parade before the red carpet, they got the full-blown exhaust the whole night. But other than that, how wonderful was it? The little kiddos there. And Santa was there. Santa was there. So
everybody was having such a wonderful time. It was like you had mentioned there. Just very old-fashioned. It's like, is it going to be like it was back in the day? And it was.
Like it was in 1985, and it was. It was. So it was great. We're we're honored to have been part of this, the Hollywood Christmas Parade. And what was this, the 92nd one? Is that what it was? Yeah. So,
anything that lasts in Hollywood longer than a year or two, it's pretty good. So 92 years, that's a win.
Especially a marriage.
Yes. That's usually 92 days out here.
Well, what was that? Steve Martin was driving somebody. I think it was called L.A. Stories.
Oh my gosh,
driving
LA
somebody
Story,
through L.A. and he said some of these buildings are 40 years old. Right?
That was a funny show, but of course, making fun of L.A.
It's so easy to do.
It is so easy to do. I mean, but here we are, and we come back frequently. We've both lived here, so it's a great place to visit.
It is a great place to visit. The weather is fantastic, and but there are potholes.
Poor John. We hit a pothole last night right by the Roosevelt Hotel, and John almost fell out of the car. He almost went boom.
Well, I was in the process of climbing out of the car. So this is the last thing that we did.
The very last thing we did.
The first thing we did was carbon monoxide poisoning. It sounds like I'm griping about it. No, it was wonderful. But the last thing was, because this one, she's smart, they were going to bring us back to up the five level.
I'm like, no, our hotel's right there.
And she said, we're driving right by the hotel.
That would have been another 30 minutes.
Yeah, so they were going to bring us over there, so then we could get in another car in another place and then try to drive, which I don't think we could have done. I don't think.
Oh, no, we needed to jump out.
Couldn't have crossed Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, I don't know. He goes, you're at the hotel. I'm like, yeah, we passed right by it.
So it was crazy. So I just said, well, let's get out here. So we're in the convertible. You saw where we were, and I was on the side of it, the hard part of the side of it, where we were sitting. A guy actually had built some padded little seats. It was great. It was wonderful. But at this point, I had
he slid off of that.
Both legs out, and I was just about to get out. So all my weight was on my left butt cheek, which is where my wallet is too, by the way. And doesn't have a lot of money in it, but it's got a lot of receipts and business cards and stuff.
So it was hard.
And he hit a 5-inch pothole, like bam.
It was big.
And I was worried about his car, but oh my God. I woke up the next morning. I felt
crippled.
I felt like
you shouldn't say
kicked.
Crippled. That's not a nice word to say if you're really crippled. I apologize. I'm going to take it back.
Wounded.
But he felt like it.
I was wounded, and my it still hurts a little bit. But we had a wonderful time. We look forward to doing it again. And it's going to be airing on the 13th. Is that right?
14th.
Oh, the 14th.
Oh, wait a minute, Tony. Can you check? Is it the 13th or the 14th?
Oh, it's
The
one of those
Hollywood
days.
Parade,
Oh,
yeah.
big deal. It's going to be one of
It
those
is
days.
a big deal.
And it's on the WB, right? Or is it on the? No, it's on the CW.
CW.
It's on
where
the
you
CW.
played Superman's.
No, that was the WB.
It was the WB then? But that's what it is now, the CW, right? Did the WB turn into the CW? I
Why
thought it
would
did.
Warner Brothers turn into CW?
I don't know what CW is. It could be like the new Warner Brothers.
Country
coming.
Western.
Never know. Cute and witty.
Worrisome. Cute and witty. There you go. That's what
It
it
could
is.
be the cute
I
and
don't
witty
know.
channel, which of course.
I don't know. But speaking
Being
of cute and
on
witty,
it
let's
would
get
make
on
sense.
to some topics that are at the top of everybody's list today. So if you're going to pardon your son, Mr. President, and since you have pardoned your son, Mr. President, why did you assure people before that you weren't going to do it?
Well, you knew he was going to.
But he said
knew
he
it.
wouldn't. So why would you go out of your way to make sure that one of the very last things you did as a president was lie through your teeth to everybody?
I'm surprised you didn't wait till the very last minute, though.
Well, yeah.
Because everybody's going to give him a hard time this entire time.
Well, but it's like you said, everybody knew he was going to do
Yeah, of
that.
course.
And nobody believed him when he said it. But nobody believed him when he said he wasn't going to drop out of the race either. You know, so it's just, I don't understand how
Happy holidays, happy holidays.
No, that's going to be next week. That's going to be
Keep
next
ringing.
week. This is no. We're in limbo here. We're in between Turkey and Santa.
No, right after Turkey is Santa. You know, I'm very strict about that. We both are. We
I'm not
want the
gonna forget
turkey
where I am.
first, but then right after Turkey Day, it's Christmas season. That's why I have my sparkly red beret on, because I'm an elf. Tony said so.
You're an angry elf.
I'm not angry. You're angry. I'm the
My
fun.
favorite. I'm not angry.
I'm the fun elf. You're
I'm just
the
saying
angry
what
elf.
I would have said. This is two shows at the very same time. What I would have said when somebody asked me, "Are you going to pardon your son?" I would have said,
I'll think about it.
I reserve the right to answer. I'll answer that question some other time, or, you know, I have to think about that. I have to. But no, he was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." Who was that? That was Bush Senior. Not
That's
gonna
right.
do it. Read my lips.
And then he.
So again, I just think it is such an indication of he's just not aware of the basic principles of humanity. You know,
He was.
and here he could have said if he was a witty guy, which, you know, he tries to
He
be
was
sometimes.
pardoning turkeys.
If somebody said, yeah. If somebody said, "Are you going to pardon your son?" I would have said, "What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?" Right? So,
Well,
but
you
you
know-
heard something interesting today, right? You heard something interesting from the senator of
Oh, yes.
from West Virginia.
Yes.
Or Virginia,
West Virginia.
West Virginia,
Joe
Democratic
Manchin,
senator.
who's a Democrat, but he leans right. He does. And he is on his way out as the U.S. Senator of West Virginia. And he said, well, you know, Biden should pardon Trump. I was like, yeah, I'm for that. I think that'd be good.
Then the
if,
last-
if hunters are being pardoned, it'd be great if Trump was pardoned. And it's big holiday season, and we have a clean slate popping up next year, and everybody can be happy.
Right, and then they can just get over it.
Even
because it's
angry
going to be
elf.
hard. It's going to be hard for somebody to say, "Oh, you're terrible. You should not have pardoned Trump right after you pardon Hunter
Yeah,
Biden."
that's true.
Okay, if somebody's going to be, they say, "Oh well, apparently some people are above the law." Personally, I don't believe that Trump did anything wrong. I'm quite sure that Hunter did a lot of things
Well,
wrong.
I know. I agree with you, but a lot of people feel vice versa, and you know, and there's still a lot of raw feelings. So I kind of think it would be nice. It kind
I
of
think it would
shows
be
everybody
great.
getting along, and you know, Hunter's pardoned, he's pardoned, we're moving on.
Well, and people would bitch and moan for about a day. That would be it.
And then the
there
news
won't be-
changes.
It'll take the fuel away from the dying media, the dying, what do they call it?
Mainstream.
Mainstream media. No, it's something like legend, not legend. Anyway, it would keep them from being able to say, well, you know, when Trump gets out of here, he's still got to face that judge and blah blah blah. It'd take all of the fuel out of that. There'd be no reason to say any of that stuff anymore. And these people on MSNBS and on ABC and CBS might actually have to do their job. Imagine that. They might actually have to go out there and be journalists. How about that?
Well, they're talking about Elon Musk buying MSNBC. I don't know where that is.
I just saw something where somebody has frozen like $100 billion of Elon's wealth.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Although that's like $5 for him, so I'm sure he's like, okay, whatever.
Does he have that much money?
Yes, he's very rich. Super duper rich. Like crazy,
If you have
buy
enough
20
money that's-
islands rich.
If you have enough money that somebody freezing $100 billion of your net worth is kind of an inconvenience,
He'll be okay.
You got some money.
He does.
But I hope he does buy. MSNBC, right? That's what they're talking
Yeah, but you
about.
know, I try to say X, but I still say Twitter. I'm
The
trying
artist
to
formerly
say X.
known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been. That seems to be turning very, very conservative.
Well, it is because he
The
owns it.
vitriolic tirades on there are hysterical. I mean, there still are.
And John draws that. I mean, they
plenty.
really do not like him when he goes off. On Facebook, it's not as bad because I think that's an older audience and
Well,
they
but
just
also
don't
on
do
Facebook,
that.
you have people
But
that are
on
your
Twitter
your
X,
party
they're
friends.
mean. And they go after this one. They go after the angry elf.
Oh, and I love it.
He loves it.
I go right back. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, because when you asked for the hanging of the president, which you did not,
No, I asked
they
for
went
justice to be
crazy.
done.
They went crazy and it went on and on and on. And anytime John posted anything, yeah, but you said this and the Secret Service is after you. But the Secret Service never called. Never sent a postcard. Never showed
Nothing.
up.
I didn't get a cake. I didn't
Nothing.
get anything from them. But you know, the people who are at fault for that whole nonsense is TMZ. They're the ones that said that I said.
Yep, let's poke him in the eye again.
Said something about
Let's not.
assassinate, right? They said that I called for the assassination. No, I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said I believe you are guilty of treason.
And he said, "This is what happens."
Well, yeah,
to
and the
people who
remedy for
commit
treason. And I asked a very well-to-do, very intelligent, top of his game lawyer last night. What is the remedy for treason? What is the possible penalty for treason? And it is still hanging. It's still hanging. So I've been noticing lately, the last since Trump won, I've been noticing the word treason is coming up a lot in mainstream media, not just in conservative media.
Before it was just you.
I know.
You started it.
Well,
that was actually
treason
your-
exists. I was not Benedict
That was a
Arnold
while
was not a
ago.
friend of mine. Okay, but Benedict Arnold was tried for treason, and I believe Benedict Arnold was hung. I think he
No.
was hung. No, he wasn't.
He escaped.
Oh, he escaped, but because
the
he was
English.
going to be hung,
Oh yeah, he would have been.
and he
But
was in where was he? Fort Lee, New Jersey, I think is where
No.
they had him. No, it was right over there near Piermont. That's because I when I did Grand Hotel, I used to do. There was a restaurant over there that was the jail that they had him in.
Oh, and that's in Port Lee? Really?
It's in Piermont. It's in Piermont. I can't remember the name of the place right there.
Because Fort Lee's the first Hollywood. That's what I think of.
I
Fort
know.
Lee.
That's where the Edison Studios were. Mm-hmm. And then they moved out here to
the weather.
Sunset Studios, right at Sunset Boulevard, and what became PCH. I don't know that they called it PCH back then. Maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yep, that's started back east and then made their way out here. Now it's crazy. John and I talk about how movie making and television shows and how the studios just are having trouble even surviving. So it's the wild, wild west on the streaming, and there's so many channels and so much going on. In a way, it's really great for someone like us, for someone like John, who is an independent and likes to make his own movies and his own projects. But it's also a little bit difficult because, trying to figure out how to make it all work. These influencers are making, I don't know, $8 billion, and they're holding up phones. So we got to figure that out. We'll figure it out.
Well,
I'll figure it out.
I mean, making the movies and the music and all that stuff is all independent. We can.
It's all good, yeah.
Yeah, because people ask a lot of times, well, where can I see Christmas Cards? Is it on Netflix? Is it on Hulu? No, it's on Cineflix 01. So if you look up Cineflix01.com.
01?
Wait a minute, I'm not sure that that's it.
But everything's changing so quickly. And the reason I mention the influencers is because, they're just on Instagram and making gazillions of dollars. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you do a movie channel like Instagram or have the little, and I guess it's kind of what Tubi is and on these other streaming.
Well, it's kind of what Cineflix has been for a long time.
Yeah?
Cineflix, yeah. Started Cineflix, my gosh, 8 years ago? It is CINEFLIX01 4dukes.com. Cineflix01.com. There's a bunch of great movies there, and the plan for that initially was to have it be a hub for independent filmmakers who don't believe in selling out to somebody like Netflix. And by the way, I think Netflix is in big trouble because of that debacle of the fight.
The fight.
And it wasn't
that
just,
was so frustrating.
They made so many mistakes. I mean, it was buffering. It was just not, you couldn't really watch the whole thing because it kept being interrupted.
It kept starting and stopping over and over and over
right,
again.
And we thought it was just us, and then come to find out the next day, my God,
it was the whole world.
And then you find out, or at least it is reported, that the fight was a bit
fixed,
choreographed. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
everybody was angry about that big time.
Yeah, so I don't know that, they had big plans for their streaming service. I would be very surprised if they do that. I think they might say, because they have to spend a lot of money. If there was not rumor about the fight being choreographed, they have a big enough problem with their inability to service their clientele. Because that's the first time I'd watched anything on Cineflix since they did that basically kiddie porn thing 10 years ago.
You mean
or however
Netflix?
long. I'm sorry. Yes, I just got after my own company. Netflix.
I was like, Cineflix made
no,
kiddie
that's
porn?
the first time. No,
that's a bad idea, honey.
That's a very bad idea.
Terrible.
But Netflix did something like that, and I stopped. I gave up my subscription, and every time they do something that the public deems as either inappropriate or, like with the fight, if it was choreographed, that's certainly inappropriate. But their inability to service their clientele really hurt them.
Nobody wants to watch a fixed fight.
No,
and
of course
they are
not.
both they were both suspended. I don't even know all the details, but they were both suspended.
Really?
And I think because it was choreographed, or maybe they found emails or something to prove it, or the people that were in on it, but they both suspended. But Mike Tyson wasn't really going to fight again anyway. And and he was, remember when he put the gloves in his mouth?
It was biting his glove
But
all night.
what if it was because he really wanted to just knock the guy out, and he was told you won't get paid if part of the deal is you don't knock me out. Because I thought it looked like,
if you hit me, you're in trouble.
But
Wait a minute.
Yeah, but you can do it in a way where it's fixed. Because Mike Tyson is huge. And if he laid one big old punch, that guy could have, but he never really did.
No.
It was just sort of barely. And at first I thought he was in trouble, and I'm like, something's not right. Why isn't he just whacking him? Because that's what Mike Tyson does.
The commentators didn't know anything was odd going on because they kept saying the same thing. Why is he?
Yeah.
What's he doing there? Why is he?
But I think he was doing it to keep from, because that's his natural way, is to knock the heck out of him and knock him out, and he wasn't going to get paid, or that was the deal. But, we don't know for sure.
Well,
that's what people are speculating. We don't know.
I kept thinking he was doing that so that what's-his-name would look there and be going like, what the hell are you? And then bam.
I think he was trying to hold back.
That's what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was trying to trick him, like, look over here, wham.
I think he was trying to hold back.
No, it was sad. It was a sad thing. Okay, I got another thing on here we've been talking about. What do you think? Since now Hunter Biden has been pardoned, and I think it's some crazy thing like for everything he did and everything people may find out that he did, in perpetuity.
Oh, so like anything new that pops up.
That's what our friend last night said. So if Hunter Biden killed 17 people last week, he still goes free. So it's pretty strange. Also, our lawyer friend said that what this does is any of the activity that Hunter Biden was pardoned for, that Papa Joe was part of.
Right.
This breaks the...
that saves him, too.
Yes, so he kind of pardoned himself for future things.
Right.
However, if anybody out there is watching this and has any goods on anything that Joe did that Hunter was not part of, then he can be in trouble for that. And he should be.
He's not going to be. He is so old. I mean, no, he's just going to retire and do his thing. Nobody's going after Joe Biden.
I would.
Because you're an angry elf. I wouldn't.
Call me an elf one more time.
James Caan was so funny in that. Remember, honey? He hated Elf. And I think he really did hate him in real life. He'd say, you are not funny at all. I think I remember Will Ferrell saying that. James Caan did not like me, and he did not think I was funny at all. And he said, I don't know why you're here. And James Caan would say that, because I knew him well, and we did a movie together, with Paul on the Italians. And
what was that movie?
Sicilian Vampire. Sicilian Vampire. It's so fabulous. No, it is.
Is it funny? I hope it's funny.
It's so bad it's funny. It's one of those. It's campy.
I want to see that.
It's campy. Mm-hmm. And it's campy. But a lot of Italians, and then the guy that does everything. You know who it is?
Oh my gosh, Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts.
He's the guy that does everything. Like if you ask him to do something, he's in, right?
That's right.
He never says no.
He works a day or a day and a half.
He didn't care.
Half a day. You have to purchase. He always delivers though. You have to purchase him.
I think he's great.
I think it's 6 hours at a time. So he's a 6 hour at a time acting whore.
I think he's great. Oh, honey. He just likes to work, but he will do anything.
Good. He's so good.
He is good. But he's like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, sure, I'll do that too. And he does everything. When he said to me, because
it's easier to ask him, the question is easier to answer if you say, Eric, how many movies have you not been in?
Right. The thing he said to me goes, why do you wear shoes like that? My sister wears those shoes, and you can't even walk in them. What are you doing? And I'm like, whoa, I don't know.
That's what he said to you?
Yeah. Wasn't that sweet? He's such a sweetheart. Then
yeah.
He goes, why do you wear shoes like that? My sister wears them, and you all can't walk in them.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Roberts, great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie, Turner Classic Movies.
But he was having fun.
So do you think that Trump will, on the first day of office, so the 21st,
yes,
or maybe
I do.
On the 20th, is he going to pardon the January 6ers?
Yeah, I think he's going to do everything right away. I think there'll be a stack of papers. Okay, we're going to beef up the army at the border.
Secure the border, bam.
Yeah.
Pardon the January Sixers.
I'm telling you, it's going to, and it could be stacks. But he'll be signing right after he's inaugurated.
And you know about this. When they do that, he signs each order, the president signs each order with a different pen, right?
Probably. Usually they give those out. Yeah,
they give those.
But I don't know
about
the first day. If you do, unless like a merchandise line, you can always have someone switching out the pens. So we'll see. Well, we won't, because we'll be in New York because John is starring in a play, the longest running play in the history of New York.
I'll fix that.
It will be the day this podcast airs. They will have had their 15,000th show.
Right.
15,000. If you last 2 weeks in New York, you're doing okay. If you last a month, if you last a season, because New York is so tough. But this has been going on since what year, honey?
1987.
1987, the show.
So Dukes finished in 1985. To put this in perspective, this show has been running 8 shows a week, only dark on Wednesday night, since 2 years after the Dukes of Hazzard's last episode was filmed.
And the woman who's
That's
central.
That's amazing. The woman who is the female lead in the show. She's
John
been doing
is her
the
love
show.
interest.
What?
You play her love interest.
That's a stretch.
You play her man that she's flirting with all the time. And
well, that's because she didn't want to go to jail.
I know, that too.
Yeah, well, I want to.
You're the dashing detective. John is the handsome detective trying to figure out this. And she's a psychiatrist. And it's really well written. It's really good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got to be well written to have run all that time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen, is it 39 Steps or 29 Steps?
39.
39 Steps. It's a wonderful, I think Hitchcock did the movie, I
think you're right.
Showing my ignorance here. But that's a long-running show on the West End in London. And this is kind of not the American version of that, because actually the 39 Steps might be the British version of this show. It's called The Perfect Crime, and it's really quite wonderful. There's only 4 people in it, so I've been cramming. It's an interesting process because I haven't met anybody. So by the time I get there, Monday the 9th. Monday. So, yeah. So Monday, this coming Monday, then I'll get into to rehearse, and I'm supposed to be off book by that time, which means I'm supposed to know all my lines. Well, acting is really not just memorization, except at this point, because at this point I'm not working with anybody except my own voice on my tape recorder. So I put my lines down, or I put the other person's lines down, and then I wait so I can say my dialogue. And then you go over it and over it and over it. But then what happens, then what happens when all of a sudden you're working with other people and you get their interpretation of the dialogue, that actually helps you remember even better. Then it's like one step closer. It's like, oh. And then when you put it on its feet, we say, which means I'm actually on the stage, on the set where we're going to be. Now I've got the coffee table and the stairs and wherever I look, those are also little triggers so that you know where you are in the storyline and you know where you are in the dialogue. Because by the time I do it a week from Friday, that's when I open. My God, I open in this show a week from Friday. I will have only done it maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times in the actual space. So it's fun. In the old days, like in high school, you'd rehearse for months, to do the show twice. Rehearse for months. Then in Broadway, you'd come into a Broadway show, and you'd have 2 weeks. But all the 2 weeks were like on book. You're reading your lines and you're doing your blocking at the same time. And then you want to get off book as soon as you can, but you are working with the same people. So this is an interesting way to do it. I've not done it this way before. But if you're anywhere near New York on, when do I open?
The 13th.
The 13th.
And the parade's the 14th. I looked it up.
Oh, the parade will be airing the 14th.
Yeah,
okay.
so you can see John on stage on the 13th in New York. And then you can see him and me in the parade on the 14th, CW, 6 to 8. Oh, no, not 6 to 8. I don't know when.
Is it CW? Yeah, CW.
That was when the parade was.
But if you're
6 to 8.
anywhere near New York, unique New York. If you're anywhere near unique New York during that time, then by all means come out and see the show. But it's a small house, so if you want to do it, you need to go online. Is it Ticketmaster or okay, Ticketmaster or eTix? I'm not sure, but go check it out and come on out and see the show. I think it would be great. I know that you'll enjoy it. It's one of those that you have got to pay attention to every single word, because the kind of like Columbo, or kind of like whatever your favorite whodunit movie murder mystery movie is. It's one of those, and it's. I would say, since it's been running since 1987, it's probably the best one of those you will ever see. So come on out, enjoy yourself. And when do I get done? The end of January, right? I mean, January 30th. And then I'm done, and then somebody else comes back in, and or they bring somebody else in. I wonder if Wopat ever did this show. I bet he did.
Who knows? But you'll be right up the street from him. Won't be in his neighborhood.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm sure at some point you guys will get together.
So you agree that Trump is going to pardon the January 6ers?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Well, especially now, because how can anybody give him a hard time?
No, he's going to do everything he can that first day.
Here's my favorite thing that's going on right now, and this is my theory. When Matt Gaetz was nominated or selected, and then he immediately resigned from Congress.
Yes.
That was like, that seems so odd, because nobody else that was appointed resigned, because they have to be approved. Then all this stuff started coming out, and he said, This is taking away from the job at hand. So I'm going to withdraw from the appointment. That was interesting too. It sounded kind of like he was afraid of something.
Well, the report was terrible, and it just was not flattering, so we wanted it to end. When he got out, that all ended.
Yes, but here's what I think. I think he's going to be appointed special counsel, and I believe that he is going to be the one that is going to examine and investigate the investigators of the January 6th debacle.
So basically do the job in a more narrow way where he can really go after them.
Yeah, well, he'll be, he's a bulldog. He's a prick. He's relentless. So I think, because I think this is a person that we need to find out, we really do need to find out what happened. We need to know why, when President Trump said, I want 20,000 not Secret Service. What the heck is it?
FBI?
National Guard. I want
Guard.
20,000 National Guard at the Capitol on January 6th in case there's any problem. And who put the kibosh on that? Nancy Pelosi. Why? So the person that after that is the one that is, the cheerleader of Donald Trump led an insurrection and this is awful and this is terrible. She's the one that wouldn't allow the 20,000 National Guard to be there. I'm sorry, folks. There's a big question in my mind about why in the world would you do that? So, and what's his name? Who's the Schumer?
Chuck Schumer?
Is he part of that?
Well, he's usually part of all the nonsense.
He's he looks like Charlie Brown as an adult, right? No. Who's the other one? You always see him behind Nancy.
No,
Pelosi.
he looks like the mean factory owner in The Simpsons. What's his name? The mean factory owner, the Mr. What's his face? The boss, the mean boss. That's who Schumer looks like.
Okay, well, you know where I'm going, right?
No.
So these people need to be investigated because we, the American citizens, have had questions since January 7th, 2020. Because we saw the video, we saw what was going on, and what was going on was basically people were following docents that were the Capitol Police that were inviting people into the Capitol, moving barricades out of the way. I mean, you can't not see that. So there's a lot of questions about that particular time, and they need to be answered. And I think Matt will get the answers. And if there's any heads that need to roll in that group, then by God and all that's holy, they will.
Oh, by God, by golly.
They will, because he, like I said, he is relentless.
Honey,
so I think that's what they've
season.
done. Yeah, but we've got another show for the holiday season. Nobody's watching this because they want ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, they
and
do.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Ho,
Reindeer.
ho, ho. Speaking of Christmas movies, you know that one whenever Santa pushes the little kid, he goes, I want a Red Ryder BB gun, and he pushes him down.
You'll put your eye out with that. That's Christmas Story, right?
Ho, ho, ho.
My favorite part is when they tricked him into putting his tongue on the flagpole.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, and they really did that. So,
did you do that when you were a kid? Stuff
course.
like that? You did?
Of course. I still don't know why that works. It was a popsicle, too. Put a popsicle in your mouth, and it's like... I don't
at least you can
understand the
move
science.
around with that.
Let's
to
call
pull
Bill
your
Nye.
stuff.
Let's get Bill Nye, the science guy, on the phone.
That was a funny part, though. We were on the red carpet for the Christmas parade, and we kept being asked,
we were on the red carpet for the Christmas parade. Me and Lovey.
I'm Marianne. I'm not Lovey. Or Ginger. I'll take Ginger, too, but I think I'm more Marianne. I'm not Lovey.
No. Okay. All right. Fine.
Okay, thanks.
Marianne was great. I never knew Ginger, but Marianne was part of Children's Miracle Network Hospital. She was wonderful. Dawn Wells. Love you,
Marianne,
Dawn Wells.
Marianne, Marianne. That was the song.
Were you saying something, or was it just a ramble?
I was talking about Christmas
I know you were
movie-
talking, but did it mean anything?
Yes. I was talking about Christmas movies, and we were on the red carpet, and they were asking us our favorite one. Finally, I said, I like Bad Santa. And everyone was like, so funny. It is hilarious.
Oh, my God. No.
Bad
that's as
Santa
bad as the
is
Dukes of
so-
Hazzard movie.
Oh, no.
It is. That's just so irreverent.
I know. It's really good. And I love Christmas Vacation.
I did like the
That was funny.
the little heavy kid, and oh my God, he was great.
He was great.
In Bad Santa. Santa?
Hey, Santa, do you want a sandwich? Ow, ow, ow. And he cut his hand open like, he goes, I whittled this for you. I carved this for you for Christmas. And it looks like, you know what? I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like...
Get out of here. Go away, kid.
He goes, what are you? Yeah, well, I won't say what he said he was, but oh, it's so funny. So that Christmas Vacation, obviously, John kept saying It's a Wonderful Life, which is true, which is wonderful.
It's a Wonderful Life is wonderful. Imagine that.
It's wonderful.
You know, they didn't like that movie when it came out.
I heard that.
That was Frank Capra, and they were...
How can you not like that movie? I mean, really?
I don't know. It's interesting because it tells you how the times change. So Frank Capra, who did Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, he did Meet John Doe, wonderful, hopeful movies about the indelible spirit of man, and if you just keep going for it and trying and trying and trying, never give up. What was it, Galaxy Quest? Never give up, never give in. That you can persevere. It's where Jimmy Stewart in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, they do like 15 minutes of this movie is a filibuster. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing to me. But when that movie came out, it's like Frank Capra had a vision of mankind that apparently Hollywood didn't have. And the people didn't have it because they didn't like that. Which was odd
the people
because
liked it, the people
Jimmy
didn't
Stewart,
like
I believe that was the first movie Jimmy Stewart did when he came back from World War II.
Well, they did talk about that. That's why he got emotional earlier than he was supposed to because he had just come back from the war.
Yeah.
So you're going to be emotional and upset, and he put it into the role, and he was amazing.
Oh my God. Jimmy Stewart, if you are young enough that you're not really familiar with Jimmy Stewart, go look at everything Jimmy Stewart ever did. Jimmy Stewart.
And
first play I did was called Harvey, and I was not the Jimmy Stewart role. I was just somebody in the asylum. We were in the cloisters. Yeah. But check out Jimmy Stewart, How the West Was Won. The last movie that he did, and which was also the last movie John Wayne did, is called The Shootist. And we're talking about trying to get there was a book. The Shootist was a book. But in the latest, there he is. Whoa, that doesn't look like him even. That's
the one thing it does.
But in this book, there's a foreword by the son of the man who wrote the book. And he talks about the making of the movie. So he doesn't just talk about the book, but he talks about the making of the movie. And I've always wanted to figure out some way to be able to play John Wayne in something. And I think this would be the way to do it because he plays a gunfighter, a shootist, right? So quick draw, fast draw, that is dying of cancer. And it's a wonderful movie, but the odd part about that is as John Wayne was doing this movie, he was dying of cancer. There's Jimmy Stewart in The Shootist.
He was great.
But
we just watched that not long ago.
Yep, I'm going to watch it again because I think a movie about John Wayne's life as he was making that movie and going to the cancer clinic at UCLA at the same time, I think there's a wonderful movie there. And he and Jimmy Stewart had done, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, they had been friends for decades. So Jimmy Stewart knew exactly what was going on and also knew what strength it had to have taken John Wayne to be able to do that movie.
So he was sick when he was doing it.
He was. When they shot... I can't remember where they shot the big sprawling exterior shots, but it was high up in the Sierras, I think. And John, there they are, and John had to have oxygen with him because at that point he only had one lung. He was a big smoker, and he had an entire lung removed. So as he was this tough, albeit dying gunfighter, he had to be on oxygen. They had to be very, very careful not to work him too much during the day, but of course he was John Wayne. He was like, I want I want to do this, but they had to be careful that they didn't kill him. And Lauren Bacall was in it. What a wonderful movie!
Oh, she was great.
Wonderful movie. Richard Boone is in it. I highly recommend it. So anyway, that's
But
one of the
movie.
future projects we hope. So we got to get. I should have talked to our
cheerier
lawyer
movie.
friend last night about that.
All right, we can ask. The
And
lawyers.
we just saw in a whole other world. We finally just saw Christmas in Tune.
That was great. Yeah, you and Reba. That was great.
It really was great. It was
Singing and happy, and you always say, "Oh, I don't want to watch those sappy Christmas movies," but they're always good.
well. They're always good, and
And that one's especially good.
I think so. Because I met Reba when she first came to Nashville. We were both on MCA. So when I met Reba, I don't think she had a song out yet.
She's she seems to be very nice.
Oh, she's wonderful. She's wonderful. There we go. There I am. I'm not proposing marriage to her because I say, would you stay married to me? Because we were at odds.
You had separated,
for a
right?
long time. Yeah, we had separated. And what was great about that movie, the script is terrific, but I have to say that really I think we were the only two people who could have played that couple. Because, like I said, we were both on MCA, and I've known her forever. She did the Reba show, and she's done a lot of acting. But I don't think anyone who's ever worked opposite her was not enamored that she was Reba McEntire. And I don't mean I didn't care, but I remember meeting her when she came into Nashville, and she still had her big belt buckle on from rodeo. And so that's who when I give her as Joe, when Joe gives Georgia a hard time, it's so believable because we were friends. We've been friends for 40 years.
Doesn't she have a show now?
I think so.
She's
Yeah,
doing
somebody
something.
told me she has a show.
You
has a
should.
show now.
I think that'd be fun if you were a guest on her show.
Yeah, well, I did the Reba show once. The other one she had.
But you
I
guys
played
are
her
great
ex-husband.
together.
Imagine that. I played her ex-husband.
Yeah, I mean, you're just good together, and it'd be fun to see you do a walk-on.
Sure, that'd be great.
I bet she would love that.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun.
I bet maybe they film right over here, Warner Brothers.
Maybe they do. So what's your favorite Christmas movie? Let us know. And we want to know, what's your favorite Christmas food?
Well, I'm still not quite over. I loved our Thanksgiving dinner, and I think we should talk about that a little bit because we had a Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, let's just back up and talk about that. You saw the pictures. If you follow us on Facebook, you saw the pictures.
People do. They always come up and go, "Hey, you ate this, and this." I forgot about that.
Not Shirley, right? Not Shirley's. Shirley.
Shirley.
I don't know why it's not Shirley's. I don't know why it's not possessive.
Because that was your mama's name.
That's not why it's not possessive.
I know, but it was kind of special because that was your mother's name.
Right.
To have our Thanksgiving dinner there.
Yep, it was fantastic.
Yeah, we got, that was quite a day. We got on the plane in Cincinnati at 6.
We got on the plane at
6:25.
6 o'clock, and it left at 6:25.
But it worked out, and the weather was just starting to get bad. It was just starting to get really cold. So we got out in the nick of time, in case we're bad roads. And then we landed in the morning, and then we were kind of dragging because we didn't sleep much. You know how that is when you get up really early. But we had a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, but they didn't have dressing.
No dressing. Or stuffing.
Or mashed potatoes.
Whatever you call it.
And I love that.
Yeah, it was...
Everything else, it was delicious, but it was fancy. And for Thanksgiving, I kind of like it traditional. I'll even do the cranberries out of the can.
You know where we should...
I don't care.
It was great, but we should have gone to Mel's Diner.
Oh, yeah, that would have been great.
Mel's Diner, you can, I think, on the menu every day, I think you can get Thanksgiving.
In fact, I might get that tomorrow night. We're going to go tomorrow night for a dinner. I believe it's there. Or we're going to go before we leave L.A.
Thursday, we're going to leave a...
And I am all about...
We're going to put an ornament on the tree at the museum, right?
Their Thanksgiving dinner, because actually, last time we ate there, that's what I ordered, remember?
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving dinner.
And guess what they had?
So good.
Dressing.
You know what? I'm going to do that. That's what I'm having.
You ever have
Just
a dressing
so you know.
sandwich the next day?
No.
Oh, my
Ew.
God. Ew.
Out of the can. Like you slide, like you do the can and it stands up like the can.
What can are you talking about? I'm not talking
You
about
know,
a
like out of a
cranberry
can.
sandwich.
That's what I thought
talking
you
about
said.
Dressing.
Oh, that would be good.
You know,
I had my
You see
mindset
that she's
on
not
cranberries.
listening. Why? Nobody mentioned cranberry.
But we did before, right before.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. We didn't
No,
mention cranberry.
it was like a couple
you
minutes
go back
ago.
and you look, we did not mention cranberry.
We totally, I know I did. I absolutely was talking about, I would even eat it out of the can.
Bet you $1.
I did say
You did
that.
not mention cranberry.
Yes, I did. Or you weren't listening.
No, you might, what?
I
You might have thought it, but you did not say it.
did say it out loud. And I'm having it tomorrow night, by golly.
Can you not say it out loud?
What are you having tomorrow night at Mel's?
I'm going to have the Thanksgiving dinner because I want some
Me too.
damn
Oh,
dressing.
good. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. And
I
then
want some
today,
dressing.
we're going to go to the smokehouse, which is always wonderful.
Oh, they have a good Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah,
too.
we
They have a
almost went
Christmas
there.
menu, too.
We almost went there, but we're just so tired. We're just like, well, we're not going to go
It's
very
been a
far.
couple of days. Maybe we can get a dressing sandwich at the smokehouse.
They've got great food.
They do have.
And then
great
we're going to
food.
meet John Schneider. Not kidding.
Right.
Another John
A
Schneider.
buddy of mine is John Schneider, and he's been so wonderful. He's texted me every day since Alicia passed. We were friends with him, and he took me under his wing, and he has been in constant touch with me, just saying hey and just saying good morning, and hey, how's John and Dee Dee? How's everything going? You have people like that, right? With
course.
Paul that all the time they just want to make sure you're doing okay. That's a friend. That is a friend. It just so happens that my friend's name is John Schneider.
And then he's also friends with the coach of the Seahawks, and
He's
his
not the
name
coach. He's the
is
he's
John
the-
Schneider too, or the general manager.
The general manager of the Seattle Seahawks is a buddy, and his name is John Schneider.
I think we have to go to. I think we have to go to a Seahawks game and really like cause trouble because I could see that happening.
You know, it's funny.
Hey,
He
I'm
gave
John
me-
Schneider. What? You are John Schneider, but what?
He gave me a Seattle Seahawks shirt a while back, a couple of years ago. He gave me the Seattle Seahawks shirt, and he said, I had this made for you. And I looked at it, and in the back, it had a tag. It said John Schneider. I
Aw.
said, you bastard, you didn't have this made for me. This is your shirt. He said,
Well, it works.
well,
Whatever works. Why not?
folks, we hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. We hope that you enjoyed that. We hope you're getting ready for Christmas, and you're getting ready for January 20th. And do they still ratify, codify? What do they do? Codify.
That's when the
Is
you know
that-
what
is
hit
that
the
on
fan
January 6th?
the 6th last year. I think, but I'm not sure. It may be like a first Tuesday or something or another. But they do have to do that, and Kamala Harris does that, so she has to codify. Well, Al Gore.
Take that.
Al Gore was the same thing when President Bush won, and he had to codify the results, and he was a gentleman about it. We'll see what she does, but she's going to do what she's already said she was going to cooperate. So we can be
Well, that's
positive,
good.
start up the new year, and look, we were there 4 years ago, not fun. Understand the people that their folks didn't win, it's not fun. But we're all Americans, and we can all share turkey and cranberry sauce, even if it's in a can, and pumpkin pie, and be happy because that's what we're eating tomorrow night.
Right. So, folks, you take care. This has been Drinks with Dee Dee
And John.
and John.
Oh, give me
Always
a
an
smooch.
afterthought. Give me a smooch. Come over here because I'm wounded from that car. Yeehaw!